following is a production of peanutbutterdisaster.com and may contain views and language not suitable for all listeners. Audience discretion is advised. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Smark My Words, Peanut Butter Disaster's premier wrestling podcast. I'm KiraKennedy alongside my broadcast colleagues, Mean, Maggle-Keen, and Tex Rockwolf.
Fuck you.
And oh boy, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about this week.
Yes.
This show's going to be fit to burstin', Maggle.
Yes, sirree, Tex. It is going to be one hell of a show. First, I guess we're going to talk about Middle of the Road Lane, aren't we?
Yes, indeed. This was... I don't even know how to explain it. It was... I wanted to like it because a lot of the matches were really good, but the storytelling here was just so lame.
It was not stellar. It was, it's weird. I think we talked about this a bit before, but we're probably going to be a little brief about Slow Lane and get to the thing that everybody's actually talking about and interested in. My reaction to I don't have any more words for it actually to joke about. So Fastlane,
Fastlane
2016.
Traffic jam lane.
Yeah, true. Yes, traffic jam lane. I like that. It was very bleh. It was very that happened. What everybody thought would happen happened.
With the exception of one thing, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. But the broad strokes were there. There were some very good matches. There were maybe a few like weird mistakes here and there, especially like the AJ Styles Chris Jericho match that some weird shit happen here and there, but they covered it so well that I didn't really care. It kind of fit within
AJ
my
and Jericho are such
narrative.
professionals that they can just kind of roll through it.
Yeah, whenever two performers who can really handle botches are in the ring, I'm usually able to just in my kayfabe mind go, okay, well you're two guys fighting, you're gonna make some mistakes when you're fighting. It's a fight, come on. So when they don't really show that they made a mistake, whatever, it's fine.
But do we want to do this on a match-by-match basis, just kind of breeze through them, though?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so we'll start off with, obviously, the pre-show match, which really should not have been on the pre-show. Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the United States Championship. I will say right off the bat, much better than their match at the Royal Rumble, because that has significantly less botches in it.
I mean that was one of the highlights of that. In that the Rumble match was all I can think about and all I can remember really of the match were the botches at this point. So it's good that they kind of had something to kind of set it apart, I guess, this time. And it seems that the feud is over now.
I don't know. I think the fact that they ended it with a roll-up means this might be going to Mania.
No. It's not possible.
You saw what I was doing. Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty done with this angle, and I guess the bigger story on this one for me is just that, like you guys said, they put it in the pre-show. What happened to trying to restore the prestige and impact?
There's a simple explanation to that. John Cena's not holding the title.
Oh, so it's not important anymore.
Nope.
Oh,
let's be honest here. No one cares about Mexicans. That's just the fact. I mean, I don't want to have to be the guy, but let's be honest.
You don't want to be Vince Russo.
People aren't into that. How's that for a swerve?
I'm gonna sort of lay my cards out right now. I came in late to Fastlane. I was stuck in traffic.
So was the show.
Ironically.
And I wound up getting home around the time the Kevin Owens match started. So I don't have any opinion.
Tex, did you catch the opening match?
Wow. You're really putting me on the spot here, but no.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'm the only one who's going to be talking about this. It was from there after Kalisto wins 2-1 after a roll up, which was a lame way to end a fall 2 out of 3 falls match.
Yeah, I heard that one of the falls was a disqualification.
Yep, right off the bat, Del Rio hit.
Which is insane.
Yeah, he hit Kalisto with a chair, and that was the first fall went to Kalisto.
That was going to be worth it in the end to throw that out. Fucking doofus.
Yeah, well, let's face it, the League of Nations aren't exactly booked the best nowadays. But from there, From there, we move on to Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, Team Bay versus Tamina and Naomi, Team Bad. I say Team Bay because that was their tag team name back in NXT. Basically, standard tag team match. The fact that it ended with both Naomi and with both Sasha and Becky locking their submissions in is what is lending credence to their WrestleMania Divas title match being a triple threat, which I would have no problem with. The match was okay. But obviously the fact that they're starting with a Divas match was actually pretty impressive. Usually the curtain jerker match is something that you want to kind of be high energy and stuff, and it wasn't terrible. Although I will say this, keeping Mauro Ranallo off on the pre-show was a mistake, because Cole, just night and day, instantly terrible commentary.
I've been hearing that he's really showing up Cole. I'm mad at myself for not catching him yet. I honestly it's been a very busy couple weeks, and I just haven't had time to watch SmackDown. I usually don't have time to watch SmackDown. Honestly, I make a lack of time to not watch SmackDown. But I definitely want to go back and watch the pre-show. For that match, because I do like watching Kalisto and Alberto Del Rio go head to head. I don't want to see it again, but anyway, point being, I'm glad to hear that he's so good, and I can't wait for them to move him up to actual pay-per-views.
Yes, indeed. So now we move on to the match where I was apparently not the only one to watch.
Wait, did you like the match? Like, was it good match?
It was okay. It was a good, solid tag team match. A good way to open up the show.
Okay.
I thought that Team Bad was doing some pretty solid heel work from a tag team. They were doing a really solid job in picking on Becky, isolating Becky. I mean, it was your standard. I mean, it was a real clinic on tag team wrestling.
Yeah, and when Sasha finally got that hot tag, definitely the crowd woke up.
I was kind of pissed off because I heard a few more of those. We want Sasha. Can we stop? Can we just stop with the "We want Sashas"?
We'll get into the crowd being a bunch of cock goblins sooner rather than later.
Oh, we have a separate segment for that. Okay,
I think so. Yeah.
What? Yes,
Okay.
But no, it was a solid match. And it came out with Becky looking like a survivor and Sasha looking like a badass, and I think they set things up all right.
Cool.
I was pleased.
Indeed. All right, so from there we move on to Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship, or as I like to call it, what the fuck? Why are these guys wrestling again?
Well, it's because he can't fight Dean Ambrose again. Kira, duh. Jeez.
Yeah. And I hate to also semi-answer the question seriously, but you put these two men in a ring wrestling each other, and they bring out a really great performance every time.
Yes.
That's partially Ziggler's story in general, but particularly these two put on a really great match. I thought it was another good one, actually.
It was
I
good.
liked it more than I thought I was going to, but yes.
Yeah. I'm getting tired of watching Owens and Ziggler.
That I can't argue with you.
It is something that should be on Raw, really. It should be one of those matches that, you watch Raw and then you're like, oh man, that Ziggler-Owens match was fucking awesome. It's not really just because of how overdone it is. Yeah, it's not really a pay-per-view matchup. That's all I got, really. It was a good match.
That's problem, though, because that's the only way WWE knows how to build up feuds now, is by just putting them against each other every week and trading wins until finally, the pay-per-view match happens.
Yeah, in my opinion, between the main show and pay-per-views, like not counting SmackDown or Main Event or whatever.
Well, SmackDown's just Raw, except blue.
Yeah, well, but like when there's a feud like this, it really should, on the main shows, being Raw and the pay-per-views, really you shouldn't have them fighting more than like maybe 4 or 5 times. I mean, even that might be pushing it. Like I feel like
I'd say maybe 2 or 3 tops.
I think 3 is like for me 3 is the best number for a good feud.
And the third match should be on pay-per-view.
Yeah. I think that there's a certain build-up. It's like a movie. There's 3 acts to it. You have the setup match. You have kind of the story-building match, usually where the face gets his ass handed to him. And then you have the third act.
You know, if the crowd's like super red hot into it, I mean, you could even extend it into a 5-parter with the 5th one being on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it depends.
But yeah, no. That's a problem. I feel like a lot of these matches that they build up to on the pay-per-views lately are absolutely, I'm just like totally burned out on it as a concept for a match.
And I'm going to be that guy. I think Ziggler's kind of overrated.
Oh, it hurts. Why? Why you gotta be that way to the Ziggs?
I mean, he's a good wrestler. He's a good seller. It's just something about him.
He's got enough people keeping him down, Kira. He doesn't need you.
I love Ziggles. I like his character a lot. I've been to Hollywood, Florida. He's a Hollywood, Florida kind of character. And that's
the bad Hollywood.
Honestly, I've always been a fan of Ziggles. That's why I call him Ziggles. And he's like my little teddy bear wrestler. I love him to pieces. And I think he's gotten better in the ring as time has gone on. I think he's listening to whoever he's, talking to, I guess. And like his he doesn't quite like glitch as much anymore as he used to whenever he gets hit. He still does, but it's not quite as cartoonish.
Well, I was on that note. I was going to say I think I figured out finally what his gimmick is. He has a remarkable superpower that he can fight people with extraordinary abilities. Right? He can stand up to all these supernatural sort of figures, but every amount of damage that he dishes out, he gets back at 110%. Every move he makes hurts Dolph Ziggler more than it hurts the person that he's fighting.
So he's the Great Khali?
It's the franchise now. The Great Ziggler.
That's funny. That's a fun. I'm gonna start putting that into my kayfabe mindset. That's pretty funny. I like that. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, it was a good
solid match. Owens wins after Ziggler almost super kicks the ref's head off.
Yeah, and a big like, well, duh, of course. I mean, who didn't expect Kevin Owens to go over there? And that's the kind of the theme for the show is like, oh, all right.
With the exception of one incident, and that is our next match, the Wyatt family versus the Hosses.
Oddly enough, the one I cared the least about the outcome. So, what do you know?
Yeah. I remember, though, when we were all kind of going through here, I think we more or less scored like a 85-95% correct with our predictions from last week, with this match in particular being the serious anomaly. Who would have thought that the Big Show, Kane, and Ryback needed to go over this pay-per-view?
Yeah, right? And honestly, I think the biggest problem with this match was the finish, because it was just kind of like, it came out of nowhere. Well, I guess it came out of nowhere because nobody gave a shit. But, and of all people, you have Ryback pin Luke Harper. I thought Eric Rowan was the fall boy for the Wyatts.
Yeah, I think that I'm assuming based on what we saw on Raw that we'll get to, I think that the creative team is reading the internets and are saying, oh, maybe we should change up a few things. Now, they probably could have changed up a lot more here, but at least they changed up Eric Rowan being the fall guy for the Wyatts. The thing that I realized about this match after it occurred was, oh, wait, why would they put anything involving Bray Wyatt over? And then I listened to the podcast that they had on the network with Steve Austin interviewing Big Show. Mm-hmm. And it really goes into how Big Show, the reason he has so many turns And this makes a lot of sense, and I actually kind of like this. The reason he has so many turns is he is versatile. He can be a bad guy or a good guy at the turn of a hat. And whenever he makes a turn, it's always to push younger talent. You know, it's like, oh, we have a lack of heels to face this new babyface. Let's get Big Show in. And so he turns, and then, oh, we have this heel character. We need someone to fight him who can be a convincing good guy. Oh, let's get Big Show. Turn happens. And anyway, my point being, after listening to that podcast, I realized what a bunch of fucking bullshit. Because here you have Big Show and Kane with Ryback, and you could maybe argue that they're putting Ryback over, but really, you just took two veterans and one other guy and decimated an entire team of newer talent, whose team leader is arguably the most horribly buried character on the entire roster as far as newer guys.
I wouldn't even say that's an argument. I think that's a solid fact.
Look at his win-loss ratio. It's disgusting.
Ugh.
I think it's like 57%. Last I looked. He's hanging out. He's
you
hanging
made
out
a
so
good
close.
You
on
came up with the name for him.
range. He's not a threat. He seems to have these grand plans, and he likes to laugh and cackle and talk about all of his sinister deeds.
So you're saying he's Skeletor?
Yes, he is Skeletor Wyatt, and he is the one who is going to take Castle Grayskull from the gods of the WWE.
Yeah, no, not happening anytime soon.
And it breaks my heart, because he's like one of the most interesting people in the fucking whole roster to me.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So, but it's okay, guys, because they won on Raw on Monday, so that's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yay!
I'd be interested, I guess, maybe to see this feud continue. They really have to show me something special that the Titans so far, in my eyes, don't have. But, you know, I like all three guys on that team, yes, including Big Show. So, I'm a little curious, maybe. If they want to put it in Mania, it's something for them to do. If they do that and Wyatt loses, I am going to have a bit of a problem with that. But,
yeah.
So probably going to have a problem.
That's how Wyatt's pushes always end. He loses.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, I get it. He's a heel character. Most heels, generally, at the end of the feud, they lose. It's natural storytelling. But, you know, if you're going to have this guy lose, you know, even like the kind of setup matches for these feuds, like, what's even the point? Like, you're not even doing villain proper.
mean, when the biggest star you've won a feud against, and this is not knocking Daniel Bryan because, you know, amazing wrestler, you know, he's pretty much done as much as he could in his relatively short career. But, you know, when this was at a point when Daniel Bryan's booking was very bad. But when the biggest star you've beaten is Daniel Bryan, you know, again, nothing against him. I've always been a huge Daniel Bryan fan, but it's like, ugh.
And speaking of Daniel Bryan fought Ric Flair's sperm in the next round.
Who?
Oh, I'm sorry, Brie Bella. I got confused.
Brie Bella's a Flair?
No, she's
this is getting
Daniel
crazy.
Bryan.
Oh my God.
No, I know where you're going with this. Charlotte, of course, Ric Flair's daughter. Oh my God, who'd have thought?
Wait, what? Yeah, that's
But
burying
yeah,
us
that's
into the
the problem
ground.
with this match. They seem to be making it more about
Don't care. I
Nikki.
skipped right through it. I didn't get to watch the event live. I had to watch it later that evening, and I sat there and said, you know what? I'd rather have this time sleeping. I just skipped right through it because I knew that Brie wasn't going to win it. I knew that she was just going to ride a wave of Daniel Bryan appreciation to a victory somehow, or to a defeat somehow. And, Charlotte was going to be real Charlotte-y. And I just skipped right through, right to the end of it. And exactly what I thought was going to happen happened. And
Yeah.
I'm just
This
done.
match was really messy, though, I gotta say. There were a lot of botches here.
You know, I actually kind of liked it. And that's not me just being the heel on this podcast. I actually
It
really...
wasn't terrible. It was better than I expected it would be.
Yeah, I think Brie's gotten better. I've never been a Bella fan. I guess she doesn't really have a new character, but she's more of she's definitely a face now. And she, I guess, is going for more of, I don't know, like a...
I mean, are we supposed to forget
honestly. Her character's not the strongest
like
point.
A bitch?
But I think that her versus Charlotte, yeah, right? That's a big problem.
WWE thinks we all have concussions, remember?
Yeah. Honestly, my biggest problem was, them relying on their, personal lives, one being the husband of a major wrestler, one being the daughter of a major wrestler. That gets frustrating after a while. And I wasn't a big fan of Charlotte. Charlotte's heel tactics. I've never liked Charlotte's heel tactics. I don't think she works as a heel. I think she is fucking terrible at it. And it makes me sad because she's a great wrestler, but...
Well, the thing is, she doesn't work as a face either.
I like her as a face. I don't know. I don't see that criticism. I think she... I think she's better probably as like an anti-hero, but still a face. Being this kind of like bitchy hoe, it doesn't work for her. It doesn't work for most of them, honestly.
Yeah, no.
But like
the
at least
thing about Charlotte. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, at least like Nikki Bella, as much as I don't like her, I believe that she is that much of a total bitch. I can believe it.
Would you say she's a total diva?
Oh,
Just
stop
suck
it.
a fucking dick, Kira.
Stop it.
So
you know what? You bring up total divas one more time, you are going to be the Byron Saxton of this group. Okay. That's a fact. That's a fact.
All right. Okay. All right. I promise I will never bring it up again.
Anyway, I thought it was fine. It had its problems. I thought it showed potential for Brie Bella, but of course, Charlotte picked up the win, which, surprise. Woo!
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. I feel like there's just really not much to say about this show.
Yeah, it's not.
Just like everything was like predictable. Yeah, not much to talk about. Hey, so from there we move on to AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho, which was a good match. A good match, but really, again, very predictable.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. Yeah. This is the worst.
Yeah.
The worst.
Although,
there's nothing worse
I will
than
say this, besides the fact that Jericho...
What? Sorry.
Yeah. I will say that, besides the fact that Jericho should probably put a quarter in the swear jar, I don't like the fact that he kicked out of the Styles Clash when it's only the second time he's hit it since he's started in the WWE.
Yeah, it's not an auspicious start in terms of protecting that move.
I mean...
Look, guys, he's the best at what he does, all right?
I guess, and I think it's doing wonders for the calf crusher, but at the same time, this is a move that's been known to break necks in Japan.
That may very well be, but he's the best at
necks.
what he does, Kira, you fucking stupid Canadian piece of shit. Motherfucker.
I have a feeling you have a problem with Canada.
I don't have a fucking problem. You have a fucking problem.
Always.
Fucking cocksuckers up there in the fucking hat smells like wet hair.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's Jericho for you. No, but seriously, folks, I don't know. Like I think you hit it. This is a mediocre match. It was merely acceptable, and gosh, I really don't think there's really anything else to say about that.
Well, no, Jericho heel turn.
Yeah, I like the ending of it. I think it's perfectly good, and I like the follow up on Raw. I like what they're doing with their storyline. I would like to see a really solid younger opponent for AJ Styles, and perhaps someone who isn't going to kick out so quickly and so easily. But yeah, whatever. I think it was a really solid match. It just, we've seen it already, and we knew how it was going to end, and that's not what you want for a good pay-per-view, which is why this isn't a good pay-per-view. Moving on, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so next we go on to one of two filler segments for the show, which makes me question why they didn't put the U.S. Championship match on the main show, but whatever. New Day appearing on the Cutting Edge Peep Show featuring no debut from Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, which instantly killed my boner.
Yeah, that was a little surprising, and more to the point, the way it ended, with the New Day kind of on Christian and Edge's side, because I'd like to give Christian credit and put his name first, but when they're on their side together against the League of Nations and the way that's going with the league, are they trying to reface Assize the New Day?
That's the impression I got, and I am not okay with that.
I don't
I know that
yeah.
everyone has to evolve, but
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, here's the thing: what they do is extremely popular. They can still be sassy. They just have to drop all the cheap heat that they go for when insulting local sports teams and saying, talking trash about the city. I mean, it's always the cheapest heat that they're going for, and that's what, as far as I'm concerned, makes them heels at all. I mean, everything else, especially compared to with the general field, the bar is set pretty low for like face behavior to be considered a face these days. So.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I think that they work better as a heel. I do understand your point. I think that they could be solid faces if they keep their general demeanor. I do like that they cheat.
Yeah.
But,
they could. Corn Stampede is always solid gold, in my opinion. So, I'd hate to see that go away in the name of making them look less villainous.
Yeah. I guess, if anybody can pull it off, I imagine the New Day is that team. I enjoy every time they come out. I'm always really excited, so I would hate for that to be tarnished. One of the few things I really enjoy.
Yeah, we don't want it to end up like
time.
when they first debuted.
Yeah, which I don't think will happen. I think they're smart enough to definitely not get to that point. But yeah, I don't know. I hope that if they do turn face, when they turn face, that they are very much the anti-heroes. That really just good guys by comparison, rather than straight up good all around good dudes.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyways, next we move on to a match that where
the
went
fuck
wrong.
did this come from?
Yeah.
That's my only estimation is at some point something went seriously wrong where one of the matches had to end early. I don't know if that was the Ryback match earlier, because I seem to recall feeling like he looked like he dropped Luke Harper pretty awfully. So I wondered to myself.
It's the Ryback. He hurts people. That's what he does.
Right.
Yeah, it's his gimmick.
But I had wondered if in fact that was an impromptu ending to that match the way it happened. Because something went wrong. I just cannot believe in my heart that they had always been planning on doing this. They were looking at their watches and saying, can we actually get Brock and Roman and Dean to put on like a show for the next 40 minutes of this pay-per-view? No, we need to kill a little extra time here? Okay. Let's get some straight up nonsense out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really no.
This is the Thursday night
explanation
SmackDown match, is what this is.
I don't know. It's probably more like a Superstars match.
Yeah, it was
being
weird.
Generous.
I thought maybe they were doing something crazy, but then it was just this random nonsense with, R-Truth is going to fight it out with the guy that we'd never want to talk about because he's just not interesting.
No, he's not.
And then Goldust just interrupts for no particular reason that we're given. Do they have something on like SmackDown?
Goldust has been stalking R-Truth, trying to form a tag team with him.
Oh.
Called the Golden Truth, and every time Goldust ends up doing something that pisses R-Truth off, R-Truth walks off, and Goldust just Raw and SmackDown, and then Goldust just winds up doing his and the promo ends.
Huh.
That is what Goldust does. That's true.
That's what I have somehow not seen anything about this. I don't know how.
You are lucky.
No, that's weird. That's very weird. Just weird.
But yeah, it really had no place on there. So
yeah, it wasn't even a piss break match because it was just way too short.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but the main event.
Yes. Gee, Roman. I wonder, Roman, who's Roman winning, Roman?
Yeah. It was pretty obvious. We all scored aces on this one by our predictions, I would
Sort
think.
of.
Yeah.
Well,
I predicted that Dean and Roman would team up to take out Brock, and I was
Speaking of which,
pretty much correct.
should Lesnar not invest in a cup by now?
Oh, that's the WrestleMania moment, dude. Dean's gonna go for the low blow on Brock, and there's gonna be a cup there.
There's gonna be a loud
and
clang.
Dean's just gonna get one of those stupid dumbstruck looks on his face, just whoa, what? And he's
Shit,
not
that's
gonna
all I know how
know
to do.
That's the only way to damage Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. I'm really, I had this inkling that maybe that they would like possibly try something with Dean and Brock for WrestleMania, and I just couldn't in my head for some reason figure out how they could potentially do that. This is kind of crossing into Raw, but we're talking about it now. Fuck it. And I don't know why it didn't cross my mind. Oh, just give Dean weapons.
Yes.
Fair enough. So when they announced a street fight between Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose on Raw the next night,
I'd say Ambrose is going to die, but he's probably done worse in CZW.
Yeah, probably. He's done some nasty shit, so I'm very excited for this. I don't know how they're going to do it without spilling blood. In fact, I feel like they have to. And
well, it's Lesnar. They're going to let Lesnar bleed. I mean, who's going to say no to Lesnar?
Yeah,
he has paper flesh. It's fine.
And by extension, he's going to offer that protection to Dean in this, because once Brock's bleeding, obviously, then all bets are off.
Yeah,
for sure.
But anyway,
I think there was a funny spot in this match I want to talk about. Lesnar trying to give, Ambrose trying to give Lesnar a German, and just Lesnar's like, he's just smiling like, are you fucking serious?
I love their interactions. Like, I don't know how the fuck the match is going to go at WrestleMania, but their interactions are fucking killer. It's so much fun to watch them fight it out. Whenever Roman was part of it, I was like, oh, get away! I just want to watch more of this fight that's happening. This is ridiculous. This is like
I wish
fucking
Roman
Bugs
didn't
Bunny
want
cartoon.
went through those tables.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have sold it, but I wish.
Oh, he didn't sell a lot. He sold a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
That Kimura near the end. Okay.
Yeah, no. That's
Super
broken.
Roman.
That's broken arms. Like, even Cena had to take a week off after that.
Yeah. That was a whole lot of horse shit. But the overall, since I want to get through this pretty fast, so we can talk about the big reveal, I really enjoyed this match until the ending, of course, where suddenly reality broke through and, shoved its
Well, let's put that in air
metallic dick up
quotes,
my ass.
reality, because, I mean, no. That's...
Oh, yeah. Well, no, the reality of the stupidity that is WWE most nights that are not Monday Night Raw this week. I mean, I just like seeing shit go down.
Yeah.
And shit went down. Roman was still terrible, but not like fighting terrible. He's just, he no-sold.
Just booked
and
terribly.
He jerked off his arm, I'm sure, at some point. And,
Oh, he did.
yeah, I always just kind of like leave the room mentally whenever that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked it.
Yeah. It was I think this pay-per-view, all in all, was just kind of, like, on our Macho Madness scale, I think when Mike and I were talking about this on Facebook, you gave it an Adrian Adonis.
Yes. Which actually I might take back because it's actually getting worse. And I really like Adrian Adonis.
I think it's more of a Marty Jannetty.
Yeah. Sure.
Marty Jannetty.
That's a tough blow, but Fastlane, yeah.
It had promise, but it just fell flat.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of like super big negatives, but just way too many kind of neutrals and to be expecteds to really make it worth a second watching at any point in the future.
Yeah.
For the slightly younger folks, it's kind of a Ted DiBiase Jr.
Yeah. I think that's about right.
Just
pretty
kind of
right.
It came, it happened. There were some good matches in there, but at the end of the day, it was very I'm gonna forget this now.
No one really wants to see it again.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No.
So let's move on to what everybody else is talking about. The post-Fastlane Raw. And right off the bat, my God, that was one of the few moments I've legitimately marked out about something on Raw. I have not marked out like that since Lesnar returned, and I knew that was coming.
What I loved about this reveal on Raw is that they didn't even stop with the reveal. Because it would have been fine just to have, well, we can say it, Shane McMahon return to the WWE. It would be enough just to have him return and do some bullshit. Fine. But no, he proceeds to just drop a bomb, followed by another bomb, followed by another bomb, ending with quite possibly the most what the fuck just happened match announcement of all time.
Yeah, Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 32 inside Hell in a Cell, and my God, Shane is going to die. I want him to win. I like him, but he is going to fucking die.
Oh, yeah. I'm very curious to see how this plays out. This could be them, like, just grasping for ratings, like realizing that they have to try something. But there's no way this wasn't planned for a while, because you can't just throw a guy who hasn't been wrestling forever into a wrestling ring with The Undertaker at Hell in a Cell. Or in Hell in a Cell.
Well, I have to imagine... Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that, Shane must have been prepping for this for a good while. I mean, he must be, near the end of his training. Maybe it was they changed it up a bit. Like, maybe they had an idea and then, oh, wait, everything's going fuck all.
I think they've probably been working on this since Cena announced that he fucked up his shoulder.
See, I think they've been working on it before then, personally.
Really?
Yeah. I just find it, because Shane, how old is he? He's like 40-something?
46.
46.
He's Jericho's age.
Okay. Like, I'm sure he's been keeping in shape, sure, but he's been a businessman for as long as he's been gone from WWE.
Yeah, he hasn't been jumping off ambulances or getting his balls electrocuted in years.
I highly doubt that he was in peak wrestling condition, because you need to train. You just have to. You have to get back into it.
Yeah.
So, he must have been working on this for months and months and months. And I don't know, it seems hard to believe that this hasn't been planned for a while. I could be wrong. There's always that chance. I'm usually wrong. It's fine. But I just imagine that there was, at least a plan in place for a while, and then probably what happened was they didn't get Roman the push that they thought they could, because they're stupid. And they're like, well, we're going to have to put Shane in WrestleMania. And, they're just like, well, we have him working on this bullshit storyline where he, battles it out with the gobbledygooker. Let's just change it up a bit. And so they took another guy from that show and they put them together. That's what I imagine. That's my little headcanon.
Okay. Also,
acceptable.
Yeah. I think another memorable moment from that segment is Vince needs to put not even a quarter into the swear jar. He needs to put a fucking $1,000 bill in the swear jar, and he needs to suspend himself for 90 days.
Did we get a confirmation of what exactly he said?
He either said, I'm going to lay a fucking beating on you, or a motherfucking beating.
Okay.
Because there were videos that people posted onto YouTube from the actual segment that WWE has been taking down, hashtag WTFU.
Oh my God. That's great. That's so great. That whole segment, just blew me out of the water. The rest of it was fine. But, the fucking, the moment when Shane McMahon goes just super meta on Stephanie and Vince and talks about how the product is failing and how stocks are falling and how they need some fresh minds in, and they need his mind in, and that, that nobody, likes the product. It was just, it was almost hard to watch, just the reality. I feel like this was like a dinner table conversation they had. They're like, we should make this a segment.
Let's put it this way. That's probably how most McMahon segments begin.
Steph,
Right.
I really think that some incestuous activity between the two of us would be really fruitful in our father-daughter relationship.
Yeah, that sounds like a conversation around the dinner table. Yeah.
Yeah. Or even, Hunter, look, the guy I was originally gonna reveal to be my bastard son kinda got suspended, so we're gonna tease the fact that you're my bastard son, and then give it to a leprechaun.
Oh my god. Anyway, I'm tickled pink by the opening of Raw this past week.
Yeah, I can't
I
remember.
hope they don't fuck it up.
I can't remember the last time that I've been this excited.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of a return. It promises so much, and I just hope that they're actually capable of delivering. I have to rein my little mark out heart in on this and assume that, you know, I mean, here's the thing. I guess I'll just say it. What if his F-bomb that Vince dropped wasn't as accidental as it would seem?
Well, no,
You know
from
what
what
I
I've
mean?
read, it wasn't, because the WWE is looking to do a lot more edgy, put out more edgy product for WrestleMania season this year.
Well, and you know, and that's kind of what bringing Shane back also seems to imply a little bit here. He was a hallmark of that era, and you know, it's definitely kind of leaning that way. So I am wondering if they're gonna try to present the product more as it was during the Raw era and post Raw, pre PG to a certain degree.
So, like, ruthless aggression, attitude there at that point.
Yeah, something kind of along those lines. A little edgier than what we have right now. Hopefully, hopefully that we won't realize exactly how dated that material would be now. Hopefully they're gonna, you know, present it in a believable and interesting way. But you know, I think that this is in a lot of ways the McMahons kind of trying to accommodate many of the fans' concerns here. And you know, the thing is, like, everyone says, "Oh well, man, don't they get it?" It's like, yeah, of course they get it. You think that there's not, like, some, like, the people who are in charge of the WWE are not aware of what we're all saying about their product? I mean, there's like a whole wing of the company, I'm sure, that's devoted to, you know, knowing exactly what we're all saying about the product.
And completely ignoring it most of the time. Sorry,
Well, sure.
Smark and me.
Hey, no. I mean, that's the thing, though. But I mean, that's it. Is that they're the ones creating this narrative, and we're just choosing whether or not we want to consume it. And you know, I mean, at least that's their attitude on it, I assume. But yeah, no, I'm really excited about Shane. I don't think that this is as far-fetched of a match, I guess, at this point, as it would have once been. Undertaker's not in his prime. Undertaker's streak has already been broken. And the complete underdog narrative that they're pushing here with trying to put Shane McMahon in Hell in a Cell with the Undertaker, I'm kind of thinking that Shane might go over on this one.
Well, the thing
but
about that
at
is,
least he's going to get the piss pounded out of him.
the thing
No
about this
question.
is, even when Shane was wrestling, on, like, I'd say a solid 95% of his matches have been weapons-based matches, just to hide the fact that he is not that great a wrestler. Now, I don't think he's going to be doing a lot of the same insane stuff he did. Like, I saw a picture somebody posted on the Botchamania page of the AT&T Stadium's Jumbotron, Shane pointing at it saying, "I'm going to jump off of that." I don't think that's going to happen, but
Goodness, I hope not.
I think there will be a lot of crazy weapon stuff. I'm not sure if he can still do the coast-to-coast Van Terminator, but I think we'll get some of his old spots somewhere in there.
I'm really excited
Certainly.
to see how they accomplish this storyline. I really like the idea of him taking over Raw. That sounds awesome.
Which
you know when I was most Tex, you said you weren't sure when you were last this excited. I actually know when I was last most excited. Counting out WrestleMania 31 when Seth Rollins runs in, obviously. That moment when the Authority was finally seemingly vanquished After Survivor
Brought
Series.
back 3 weeks later.
Yeah. And it felt like, oh man, the tides are turning. Well,
Right.
here we are again. It feels like the tides are turning, and hopefully it goes the opposite fucking direction.
Well, I'm hoping this brings back the brand split.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. That was my first thought.
I could get into 2 different shows run by 2 different McMahons. Maybe bring in Daniel Bryan as the commissioner, do the brand split, have a full-on draft. So,
Oh my god, what if he tried to make them more green?
this company needs a new focus.
He's just gets into this huge battle about the Keurig machine. That'd be great.
Damn it, Shane, this is my Keurig machine.
Do we have anything else to say about this?
The closing segment,
Oh yeah.
where Roman gets a blood capsule handed to him, and he is now out of commission with a shattered nose.
Yeah, these theatrics are not working. And
Well,
it
here's the
broke
thing. I
my
have a
heart.
theory as to why they did that.
It broke my heart for Roman to sit there at the end of that segment and hear everyone still like cheering for Triple H. Triple H. Let it sink in, boys. I mean, this isn't some fucking fan favorite guy that's being cheered as he vanquishes the Samoan badass. This is fucking Triple H. The Reign of Terror. The Game. The King of Kings. Everyone hates this guy. And he's fucking gone over in the biggest way. And it's baffling.
Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, you would never believe that Roman was the face in this feud.
Maybe that's what it's all been. It's all been a fucking conspiracy to finally get Triple H over. That's it. We've cracked it, guys.
God.
Go home. That's it. We're done.
I have a theory about why Roman's out of commission with that shattered nose. Let's look at where the next few Raw tapings are happening. We had Detroit, Philadelphia. I can't remember the other places, but these are all Smark towns. Hang on, I have.
Oh, he would get fucking pounded in Philly. Yeah, no way.
Which is ironic considering he was, he won his second title there. Let's see. Okay, so Detroit,
Philly.
Chicago, Pittsburgh, Philly, and Brooklyn, all before Mania.
Jeez. Talk about stacking the deck. Whew.
Yeah, I have no doubt that your theory is correct, Karen.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind.
And I can just imagine, like, when Triple H was slamming Roman's head into the announce table. There's a picture I posted on our Facebook page, facebook.com/SmarkMyWordsPodcast, where Triple H is just saying, "Why won't you get over?"
Really taking some frustrations out. Did everyone see the footage of that of Byron Saxton handing the blood pack over to Roman Reigns?
Yes.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, it's footage a fan took, where after Triple H slams Roman's head into the announce table multiple times, you see Byron Saxton handing something to Roman Reigns, and we can assume, since blading is illegal now, it was some kind of a blood capsule. And the fact that Triple H, was kind of wiping his hands with the blood and almost rubbing it into his face and stuff, I could assume it's not real blood.
Yeah. Well,
But the fact
you
that
don't
they
want to
were
hurt
willing
the
to
prized
have
possession.
Well, the fact that they were willing to have that bloody of a spectacle and the Raw too, I mean, I think that really plays back into the what's Vince trying to do here with reminding us of the good old days, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's pretty much all that needs to be said about this. Well, actually, there's one more thing I want to bring up that I found about an hour before we started recording this.
Fine, Kira, one more thing.
Okay.
One more.
I saw some of the
Canadian.
funniest reactions to that of people who are clearly, like, they don't understand how wrestling works. There were parents posting on Triple H's Facebook page, "You should be ashamed of yourselves. My kid was watching this." It's like, this is wrestling,
Wow! Don't you know how this works?
Yeah.
What are you new?
Although there were some grown men that were calling Triple H starts with an F and rhymes with gag, because he was beating the shit out of Roman.
Wow.
Well, the kayfabe is strong with these men.
It's still real to them, damn it.
Yeah. Well, I hate most people. Oh, right. I'm just gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna end on a little message to all the audiences who attend a wrestling match.
We wanted to get back to this segment.
Yes.
Dear wrestling quote-unquote fans attending the tapings of pay-per-views, Raws, SmackDowns, even the smaller promotions, anything that they might be recording to put on the internet or on their streaming service, whatever it might be, even TNA. Please, for the love of all that is good in the world, please stop your fucking bullshit chants. If I have to hear one more person, including Vince McMahon, a person I have a small amount of contempt for, if I have to hear any of them try and get through their storytelling, that thing that they're doing, that you have come, shut the fuck up, Kira, the thing that you have come and paid to watch, if I have to watch them struggle through it because you're yelling, what, again and again and again, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Because you're not funny. You're just not. Okay? Steve Austin was funny.
Well, even
He's still
Austin
funny.
hates the what chance now.
Oh, yeah. Even Steve Austin thinks you're a fucking loser. So please, do us all a favor and shut your fucking cock-gobbling mouths and go back to Canada. Signs, Michael Keane.
I'll sign my name to that too. It's so self-important. It's so injecting yourself into the product. It's so repeating a meme that hasn't been relevant for already too many years. It's all the wrong things, and it really breaks up a lot of what you're expecting out of the show. It breaks up the flow of things, and it's really making these people's actual performance, because they're performing for you. It makes it harder on them, and it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So if you want to chant the things that they want you to chant, but and if it's real bad, I guess you have some kind of bring some tomatoes. I don't know, bring some fucking tomatoes if you want to heckle and boo and all this shit.
I don't think security would let them.
Shh.
Yeah. And there's a different, if you're heckling, during Sheamus's intro that it looks stupid, even though I find that annoying too, okay, fair enough. All right, fine. He's a heel. It's kind of part of his gimmick anyway. Cool. But if you're actually interrupting the flow of storytelling, fuck you. Just fuck you. You're an asshole, and you should feel bad about it.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line between the crowd going along with the product and the crowd just trying to get themselves over. Like, if it gets to the point where the crowd starts chanting, "We are awesome," that's taking it too far. The what chants, I still find them a little chuckle-worthy, but at the same time, it's like, yes, okay, we get it. 2001 happened, but
never forget. So I'm good with this. I think I've gotten my feelings out. Yeah, I'm at Michael Keane on Twitter, and that's all. Fuck you.
I'm at T Rockwolf on Twitter.
I am at KiraKennedy HNR on Twitter. I am KiraKennedy HNR on Tumblr, and Facebook.com/KiraKennedy Reviews, because KiraKennedy HNR has been taken. God damn you, Facebook. God damn you. And if you'd like to follow us on social media, like the podcast itself, we are on Twitter at PVD Smark, and of course Facebook.com/SmarkMyWordsPodcast. So until next... do you have anything else you want to add in, or...?
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say we were driving off into the sunset.
Yes. Yes.
Ramblers, let's get rambling.
So, until next time, for me, Michael Keane, and Tex Rockwolf, I'm KiraKennedy. This has been Smark My Words, and God damn it, Roman Reigns is going to get eaten alive.
Amen.
Boop, 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 boop.
Mark My Words is hosted by KiraKennedy, Tex Rockwolf, and Michael Keane. Our opening theme is Temper by L Tigre Ultimo, who you can find out more about at facebook.com/L_Tigre_Ultimo, as well as soundcloud.com/L Tigre Ultimo, all one word. Our ending theme is Summon the Rock by Kevin MacLeod, who you can find out more about at Incompetech.com. The following has been a production of PeanutButterDisaster.com.
Peanut butter disaster.